Hello and welcome to the Let It Flow podcast. My name is Layi-Ojo. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Click the button to subscribe and look forward to episodes every Saturday. I'm excited to connect with you and let's go on the journey together. Today, I want us to talk about learning the right lessons. Don't learn the wrong lessons from your problems. Don't let your problems scare you away from what God has for you. Learn the right lessons when you go through things, when you go through situations. I know a lot of times they always say, you need to learn from what happens to you. You need to learn from what happens to you. Learn from what happens to other people. It's true. I subscribe to that as well, to learn from your experiences and learn from the experiences of other people. But please don't learn the wrong lessons. Learn the right lesson or lessons. Today, I want to look at the story of Joseph. Joseph had a dream, and in Genesis 37, that was the first time Joseph started talking about his dreams. He told his brothers his dreams, he told his father and mother his dreams, and long story short, his dreams got him in trouble because he ended up dreaming that all of them were bowing to him. Like all the brothers were bowing to him. And as you can imagine, that didn't sit well with them. Like, excuse me? So all of a sudden you're going to rule over us. And then Joseph went to tell them, you're going to bow to me. And then he had another dream that the sun and the moon, in other words, his father and his mother, as well as all his brothers, were bowing to him. And he told them, and the dream got him in trouble. The brothers were so upset with him and they became so jealous that they actually planned to kill him. They were going to kill Joseph. Like, forget it. If you're dead, the dream is not going to come to pass. Like, how is that going to happen? And then one of them said, let's kill him. Let's just sell him, and let's sell him off to some people, make some money. Why would we kill our brother? And they sold him as a slave to Egypt. So you can say dreams got Joseph into trouble. I'm sure he was sitting there as a slave thinking, I can't believe this is my life. This was not part of the plan. This was not part of the dream. This is not supposed to be happening. What is going on? I'm not supposed to be a slave. I'm not supposed to be in Egypt. I'm supposed to be ruling and reigning, and all my brothers are bowing to me. I'm supposed to do something with my life. And if he had learned the wrong lesson from that experience, he would have stayed away from dreams. Like, the dream got me in trouble. Dreams got me in trouble. Dreaming, interpreting the dream, and saying it out loud got me in trouble. Look where I ended up. He ended up in Potiphar's house as a slave. And then God granted him favor there. If you're not familiar with the story, read Genesis 37. It goes all the way to about chapter 40, 41. I'll put the descriptions in the show notes. But Joseph could have said, I'm done with dreams. I don't want to dream. And if I dream, I don't want to talk about it. If I don't want to interpret it, I'm just going to stay away from dreams. But then a sequence of events occurred in his life. When he was in Potiphar's house, the woman of the house was interested in him. He was not interested. She implicated him. He got thrown into jail. So it looked like his life was getting worse. So he was a slave, now he's a prisoner. Like, it was just going down from there. Now, when he got into the prison, God was with him in there as well. So he was able to still find favor among the people in the prison. But guess what happened one day? Two of the men in the prison, the king's butler and the king's baker, were thrown into prison for something they did, and they dreamt. So when Joseph came in the morning and they all looked sad, I can imagine Joseph was a upbeat person, like, hey, good morning, everybody. And I'm sure they're like, excuse me, not today. I was like, hey, come on, what happened? That's not like you. What happened, Joe? How you doing? And they're like, oh, we had a dream. Like, the word dream should have made him go, uh-oh, lesson learned. Excuse me, nope, not doing that. Dreams got me here, like literally. Like, if I tell you my story, it started with a dream that I dared to have, dared to interpret, dared to speak out loud. That's why I got here. So have a good day. I don't do dreams. Literally, Joseph's lesson could have been, I don't do dreams. But guess what? Those two people dreamt. Joseph still had the confidence to stand and say, okay, tell me your dreams. Interpretation belongs to God. And he interpreted the dream for them. It would have been having all kinds of flashbacks of what interpretation of dreams or dreams period will do. Like, it could have wanted to back off. Like, I can't touch that. But he interpreted the dreams. He still trusted God, interpreted their dreams, and walked away. And the interpretation came to pass exactly as it said it. In 3 days, one was restored, and in 3 days, the other was killed. The one that was restored, of course, Joseph had said, when you get back in there, put in a good word for me. But we all know what happened. The man forgot Joseph when he got there. I believe it was all the plan of God, even the part of him forgetting Joseph. But then one day, guess who dreamt? The Pharaoh. Now the king had a dream. That word again, dream. The king had a dream. And the officer that was restored now said, oh my God, I remember when I was in prison, I had a dream, and there was this young Hebrew boy in prison who interpreted my dream, and it came to pass exactly as it said. So the Pharaoh was like, all right, why wait? Go bring the boy. So it was the same dream, the vehicle of dreams that got Joseph in trouble the first time, that's now getting him out of prison. So Joseph came out of prison, he interpreted the Pharaoh's dream, and then said, Pharaoh, this is going to happen in 7 years. There will be abundance, and the next 7 years, there will be disaster. So appoint a wise man who can gather the abundance from the first 7 years so that the last 7 years won't be so bad. And the Pharaoh was like, are you kidding me? You were the one to interpret this dream. We're sure you're the best person for the job. And just like that, Joseph became the Prime Minister of Egypt. It was literally the second in command to the Pharaoh. Guess the vehicle that God used to get him there? Dreams. If the first time what happened to him, he was wise, like we say, and he learned his lessons. It would have said, I don't do dreams. I don't talk about dreams. I don't dream, and if I dream, I delete it once I wake up. I do not interpret definitely, and I don't tell anybody about dreams. If he had learned that wrong lesson, he would have missed his destiny. So I'm here to encourage you today. Don't learn the wrong lesson from your problem. There are lessons to learn. There are things you do differently, but don't learn the wrong lesson. The fact that something didn't work out right the first time, the fact that in Joseph's case, his dream got him in trouble, and that's how he became a slave, he became a prisoner, and all of that stuff, does not mean that the hand of God was not upon him, that he didn't have a gift in that area, and that gift was going to make him stand before the Pharaoh, and that gift was going to show him off. And you know, another thing that really fascinated me when I was studying this story again is the fact that Joseph did not lose confidence in his ability to interpret. Because look at it, what happened to him was major. It literally changed the trajectory of his life. A Hebrew pampered boy becoming a servant and a slave and a prisoner. It could have lost all confidence to say, whatever dream I had about my brothers bowing to me, mommy and daddy bowing to me, that was so wrong because my life does not look like that. Nothing that is happening in my reality looks like that. I must have gotten it wrong. Or I don't even know what I was thinking. Or he could have doubted himself and have deep-seated insecurities that will make him back off. And even when he heard the dream of the butler and the baker, make him doubt the fact that he understood the interpretation. But he still stood and on the integrity of the word of God and say, you know what? This is the interpretation. He still believed God. He still interpreted the dream. He still believed in the gift that God had given him. Even though his own dreams have not come to pass at all. But he said it confidently to this man that in 3 days, this will happen and this will happen. That is a huge lesson for me. And I hope that you learn that lesson too. That the hand of the Lord is upon you. The gift of God is upon your life. It does not matter who validates or who does not validate that gift. It does not matter. When the Lord has blessed you with something, you have it. You have the thing that God has given you. Don't let anybody downplay what God has put upon your life or the gifting of God upon your life. It's not up to them to approve or disapprove your gift. It's up to the Lord who has given you that gift. And it's up to you to walk in the fullness of who God has called you to be. Joseph could have said, wait a minute, let's think about it. It doesn't make sense. I dreamt for myself. It didn't come to pass. It hasn't come to pass. Look at where I am. It's actually worse for me now than it was. But what he didn't know was that the dream would eventually come to pass in the course of time. But he just had to be confident in the fact that I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to stand up. I'm going to try again. Some of you need to stand up and do it again. Stand up and believe again. Stand up and love again. Stand up and press in again. Stand up and apply again. Believe it. Believe it. Even though there's evidence to say, are you kidding me? Your dream hasn't come to pass. What you tried earlier didn't work. Why do this one? Change majors, change businesses. But if you still feel that sense of knowing in your heart that this is it, stay there. And even when it doesn't make sense with your rational mind, trust God. Because Joseph could have stood before those men, and when he heard that they dreamt, all kinds of insecurities would have fled up to say, who am I to listen to somebody else's dream and interpret somebody else's dream? I had dreams, they never came to pass. Actually, the dreams made my life worse, because that's why my brothers were jealous of me. That's why I ended up here. Who am I to talk about somebody else's dream? But he stood boldly. He believed in the gift upon his life. Some of you are still waiting for people to validate you. You don't need that. God has validated you. God has chosen you. Stand up. It doesn't even matter if the first attempt failed. Joseph, at this point in the middle of his story, would have thought the first attempt failed, or for whatever reason he got it wrong. But he didn't. It was just in the course of time. But he was confident. He got up and still stayed faithful to the gifting of God upon his life. Awaken the gift of God on the inside of you and walk in the fullness of it. Use it. The more you use it, the more it grows. Use it and grow. So fast forward, the dream takes Joseph literally to Pharaoh's palace. And then even when Pharaoh told Joseph his dreams, the stakes were high. He could not miss it. And he did not want to go back to prison. So he had to also control himself not to manipulate the interpretation, to stay pure to what God has given him as the interpretation, and not try to tailor the interpretation to favor him. But he trusted God. But God was working behind the scenes. God had already touched Pharaoh's heart to say, you know what? You are the person that's going to help us. And the same thing that got him into trouble actually brought him to his place in destiny. Dreams. It looks like it didn't work at first. It looks like it got him in trouble. But then same thing brought him before the Pharaoh. Same thing took him to his place of destiny. And eventually his original dream came to pass. Don't let the things that have happened in your life so far make you lose confidence in yourself. Don't let the things that have happened up to this point make you change course because you're like, it's not working. It's not for you to judge if it's not working, because like Joseph, it could be that it's just a journey. It's just a phase. Stay faithful. Stir up the gift on the inside of you. Use it. The more you use it, the more it grows. You're supposed to be a blessing to the world. That's why God gave you the gift. The gift on me is to be a blessing to you. The gift on you is to be a blessing to me. You are denying people in your life and people connected to your destiny. You are denying them if you don't step into what God has called you to do. I'm encouraging you today. Don't learn the wrong lessons from your problems. Ask God to open your eyes to know what lesson is in here for you to learn. But do not pick the wrong lesson. The devil wants you to learn the wrong lesson. If Joseph had learned to back off from dreams, he would never have fulfilled his destiny. As you go into your day today, keep thinking about it. What have you backed off of that you should actually go all in on? Let me say that again. What have you backed off of that you should actually be going all in on? Go all in to what God has called you to do. Don't back off because of the challenges. Sometimes the reason why things are going crazy is actually because that's your place of assignment. Don't learn the wrong lesson. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And keep getting stronger and stronger in who God has created you to be. Come into yourself, come into your own, and grow in who God called you to be. Till next time, God bless you.